Hey guys, so basically, this is a really you have to go way, way back in this channel history to even understand the reference that is being made in this one. But those of you who've been here a while probably remember the friend in question. But do you remember about 10 years ago, I had a local friend, yeah, I know, shocker, it can happen, that went kind of bridezilla on me because I missed her the meetup for what were supposed to be her bridesmaids in her wedding because I was literally ill and then she never spoke to me again. I finally, a decade later, have closure on that situation. And honestly, I'm just relieved at this point because after a certain point, it's like you have everything out of your system that you were going to feel over it. And then you're just in this weird limbo space of, well, I don't want to delete her off of social media because what if she changes her mind one day? It's that sneaky little what if. Oh my god, it's the worst. It's the worst. And at this point, I think it was the kindest thing for all involved that she finally just defriended me. Because at least now the chapter is closed. There is no more wondering what if. It's just done. So, as a little post mortem on this person I will call Erica, I'm not using her real name, um, I feel like I'm just gonna kind of give it a moment, appreciate the friendship that we had, and lay it to rest. Because that's about all one really can do, you know? So, I knew Erica from elementary school. From about, I want to say third grade. So I had one best friend from kindergarten through second grade, but then she transferred schools, and then I was left on my fucking own because the rest of my classmates were pretty much assholes to me. Nobody wanted to be nice to me. I still cannot explain that one for the life of me. Got along great with the kids older than me and younger than me, but the ones in my actual class just could not be fucked off to actually interact with me. Fine, whatever, I don't give a shit. It's fine. Is it though? But anyway. So, about a year after that initial best friend transferred out of schools, and after I had pretty much settled well into being a loner at this point. I mean, I was one by nature anyway, but had really secured my place as lone wolf by this point. I noticed at lunch one day, this girl, like, there was a bunch of girls around her. I wasn't sure what was going on, but all of a sudden, oh, that's so gross! And just running, fleeing away from her, and her suddenly scrubbing down the lunch table in front of her. And I had no idea what had just happened, but for that big of a reaction, I was like, I have to go see what this was. So fine. I stroll over, and I'm like, dude, what was that? And she just kind of scowls at me, right? And I'm like, no, I'm actually curious. What just happened there? Why were they screaming? Oh, I made myself throw up. Wait, what? You can do that? Not in a bulimia kind of way, but just oh, you what? She's like, yeah, I can do it on command. I was like, can I see? And she fucking does it again before a freaking yard monitor comes over and drags her ass to the school office. But I was just like, that's so cool, but so gross. It's just what the fuck is wrong with me? I don't know. I was a strange kid, so was she. And this pretty much laid the groundwork for the friendship that we had, as we're both going to be weirdos together, and we're okay with that. We don't have to understand it, but we're okay with it. So, basically, she taught me how to do it, by the way. Not that I used it in a ED kind of way, but just you know, party trick kind of way. Anyway, no, it did not involve sticking a finger down the throat, by the way. But anyhow, so I start hanging around her, and as if I wasn't a social leper enough already, that really nailed it home. I was like, I don't even give a shit because I have a friend now, so I don't care. And there was a couple other loose friends that she had that tended to hang around too that were also in the same boat of being the weird outcast kids. And I was like, this is great! I have 3 friends. This is fantastic. So, I mean, went through all of that school, friends with that little group of 3. No one understood why the hell I wanted to hang out with A, kids in the grade under me, and B, the outcast kids. Why would you do that to yourself? It's like, gee, I don't know. Maybe because I am also an outcast kid, and you fuckers won't play with me, but they will. So, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I said it exactly like that, even in 3rd grade. So it didn't matter that this was a Catholic school. We had filthier mouths than the public school kids, as I later found out. Anyway, so I go all through this school with her, and then in 8th grade, I transfer out and go to public school. And I do not see her or those other 2 friends again. Very sad about that. Until years later, social media came along. Not on the MySpace days, but in the Facebook days. All of a sudden, I get a friend request from one of those 3. Not Erica, but it was one of the other 2. I was like, oh shit. I haven't thought about that name in like 10 years. That's awesome. Friended. And then I'm asking about the other 2. She's like, oh yeah, Erica's on Facebook. And she is? Yeah, you should try friending her. Okay, so I do. And she accepts. And we start talking and find out we apparently have a lot more in common as adults than we did as weird little kids. Because now we're the weird adults who both like old classic Hollywood films, who both like crafting. Oh my god, you still live in this town? We should hang out. And so we did. We would have like movie days where we would just like watch old classic Hollywood. I'm talking about like silent movies Hollywood. And we would sit there and like Mystery Science Theater 3000 them and kind of like razz on them. But it was fun though. Like it was a blast. We actually genuinely enjoyed the movies, but we also enjoyed having our own like Waldorf and Stedtler kind of thing going on as well with it. And she would come to my house, I would go to her house, we would watch movies, we'd like go buy food. It was great. We'd both be all man-hatey together, and fuck the world, fuck relationships, fuck Valentine's Day, da-da-da-da-da. Who needs all that? Until the year she got a boyfriend, and I was like, oh, I guess we're not doing our anti-Valentine's Day thing this year. No, I'm not feeling it this year. Oh, okay. I think I kind of knew it was the beginning of the end right there. I didn't want it to be. I got to meet the guy in question. He's actually a really cool dude. He's really nice. My brother even met him, like totally soul and separate from us, but I was like, huh, okay. This guy seems really, like, normal and well balanced. Okay, whatever. You know what? You go, girl. Good for you. I'm happy for you. Cannot relate, but, like, I'm happy for you. And they end up a whole ass thing. And they're dating. And, like, she full on gets a hysterectomy to make sure that they never have to have kids together. More power to you. I still can't get a doctor to do that for me, but whatever. So, I just don't want the equipment. I'm not using it. I don't want it. Take it. Fucking take it. Anyways, and then she mentions that they're engaged. And they're getting married. Fantastic. Happy for you. They've moved in together. Great. I want you as a bridesmaid. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna do like handmade 1930s style like bridesmaids gowns. I'm getting a little weird about this, but okay. Fine, it's your wedding. Cool. We'll do that. And then comes the day of the fateful, we were all supposed to meet up at Waterworld so the bridesmaids could all meet each other, and I had a fucking sinus infection and couldn't go. And I'm sorry, going to a water park with a sinus infection would probably have been the dumbest thing I could have humanly done. That's why I didn't go. She thought I was just being Little Miss socially anxious and didn't want to deal with people. Maybe it was a little bit of that, but it was more because I was actually genuinely sick. Like, I even, like, hawked up shit so she took a picture. I was like, does this look like making it up to you? And that was literally the last I ever heard of her. I figured, okay, I get it. She thinks I flaked. She's mad. She thinks I flaked on something as big as her wedding. She's mad. I understand. Her wedding came and went. I was not even invited. Ooh, stung a little, but I understand. Fine. I'll wait it out. I am sure she will calm down eventually. She never did. About every 3 or 4 months, I would like reach out on Facebook and like leave a comment on something or like shoot a message every once in a blue moon just to test the waters. Maybe, maybe. Nothing. Radio silence. I felt weird about like trying to go through her husband. That felt squicky, so I didn't do that. I was like, no, that I don't want that to be misconstrued as I'm trying to steal your man, because that is barking up the wrong tree, first of all. But like, no, I promise you, I don't want that. So, no, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Fine. I give her space. I go on about living my life, my own shit, whatever. Fine. 10 fucking years of this pass. I think in that time I got her to maybe twice respond to a Facebook comment. And that was it. Which really sucks, because I so hoped she would get over it and we could go back to hanging out the way we used to. It was not to be. Because finally, right around the start of this year, I don't know what made me think to go to her page again. I was like, huh, Erica's been quiet for a while. Wonder what she's been up to lately. I am finally defriended. Let me check her husband's. Yep, I'm defriended from him too. And her sister. Okay. I'm not sure what day that all happened. I'm not sure what exactly made it finally click. I don't know. That's not for me to know. It's okay. So I'm just like, now I'm feeling dumb, because in those 10 years, I had countless people tell me, dude, just cut your losses and defriend her. But I'm a Capricorn, and I'm a stubborn little son of a bitch, so I was like, no, I don't want to be the one to close the door. If there was any chance at all, no matter how minuscule, that maybe hell will freeze over and she'll talk to me again one day. Yeah, no, that did not happen. And I think I knew by the end of like year 1 or 2, it wasn't happening. And I grieved it way back then. Like, I am so, like, past that point. Like, my youngest sister, God bless her heart, she's like, are you sure you're okay, though? I'm like, dude, no, I'm great. Actually, I am fan-fucking-tastic, because it means I am not in limbo anymore. This was the kindest thing she could have done after all this time, is just let me go, instead of being like, maybe I'll talk to you again one day, maybe I won't, you don't know. I mean, she never said those words, but I mean, it was implied. But like, by hitting that defriend button, she at least finally closed that chapter once and for all and for good, so there is no more wondering, no more secretly hoping, well, maybe one day. Yeah, no, it's not happening. And that's okay. It doesn't have to happen. Not everyone has to be friends for life. It brings to mind that whole people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I think hers was probably a combo of reason and season. I had hoped it was lifetime, but I guess not. But that's okay. I don't know. It's a weird thing after that much time to finally get that closure that I almost just felt numb. I was like, I don't even know how I feel about that. And then I realized I actually feel nothing, because I got all of the feelings out years ago. I'm just like, oh, well, I guess that's the thing. Huh. So I guess this is my post-mortem on the whole thing and putting it to bed once and for all. And then I'll never have to think about it again ever. But it's just like, man, so many things in that 10 years have happened where I've thought, Erica would be so fucking proud of me right now. Because, like, she is a total horror movies buff and loves all things scary, all things Halloween. Honestly, I was shocked she didn't have a Halloween wedding, but, like, I was the biggest puss with them. I couldn't hang with them at all. Until she, like, got me to at least dip my toe in the water a little bit with a scary but not really kind of, it was just like trick or treat. Like, it wasn't that scary. It was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Maybe I could handle another one like that. And then I started going through the Stephen King movies and was like, oh, actually, these really aren't scary. And it was like through trial and error that I realized it was never the horror movies part of it that bothered me. It was images of decomp I cannot fucking hang with, but like just a scary movie on its own, on its face. I sit here and I laugh my butt off at them because I'm like, ha, you think that's scary? Try living with 7 different forms of anxiety in your head, and I could probably write a really good horror movie, probably, if I wanted to, but because my brain comes up with way scarier shit constantly every single day of my life because that's how anxiety works. But anyway, it happens like in a flash of a second. I'll have an entire what if scenario on pretty much anything under the sun that could happen. Probably won't, but could. Like, that's just how I am, and why I figured there is no way I could handle horror movies. Turns out some of the biggest fans of horror movies are people with anxiety because it gives us an outlet where it's controlled and it's okay to feel it, and it's only in the context of this thing, and then you move on with your life. It's like a release valve on it. They're fantastic. Now I kind of love them. But who the hell would have thought I, of all people, would end up loving them? I don't know. But anyway, so she would be so fucking proud if she knew that, but she's never going to know that now. But she at least greased the tracks and pushed that in motion. So it's like, well, thank you for that, even though you'll never see this. It's just, there was lots of little things like that where it's just like, I don't know that I would have explored this had I not met her, but I'm really glad that I did, because this is a thing I really enjoy now, so... But I mean, I have to admit, I do miss having my little local buddy that I could just, like, I would bring over my knitting, she would have her sewing, we would watch old movies, have, like, a lunch date, basically. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was very no social anxiety because, like, you could be as social or as non-social as you want to be with that particular combo of things. It was perfect. And now I don't have anybody local that I can do that with anymore. The closest to it is my youngest sister, because she kind of recognizes it, especially since she's a psychologist now, but, like, she kind of knows that, like, the way to my heart is through movies, and the way to get me to talk is through movies. Put on a movie, watch it with me. You'll get me talking about that, but then you'll also get me just talking after that. But it feels very low stakes in the moment while watching said thing. So it's one of those things where once you understand that piece of the puzzle of how my mind works, I'm actually really easy to talk to if you understand that detail. And Erica got that. She got it perfectly because I think she was very similar in that regard. So, yeah, it's just like, most of the people I went to school with do not live here anymore because this is a very gentrified area. This is a very expensive area. It's one of the most expensive in the entire fucking US. And pretty much the only people who live here in this age realm are either ones who really made it big money-wise, or they still live with their parents, one or the other. There is no in-between. We all know which camp I fall into. So it's like, well, it is what it is. But because of that, there's not a whole lot of people anywhere near my age who are in this area, much less ones that you're gonna find just out and about organically. And how the hell do you make friends as an adult? Like, no one does that, I don't think. Like, you just kind of find yourself in situations where I don't know how I started talking to this person, but now I talk to this person. I guess we're friends now. Like, that's about the closest thing I can get to making sense of how the hell do you make friends as an adult. But, like, I can do it online. I have no idea how that shit works in person, and I never really did. It was only because of being into forced interaction spaces at school that there was any of them at all. So now I'm like, huh. Well, I mean, I did have 10 years to get used to this idea. So, I mean, it's not like I feel a sudden sense of loss, because no, I had that sense of loss forever ago. But now it's like, well, now that that is for sure closed once and for all, part of me is like, it'd be nice to have one, but I don't know how one would even find that. Much less in a way where it doesn't come off completely and totally fucking creepy. I don't drive, so I'm pretty much also limited with whatever's in walking distance, so there's that too. And, like, also, if we could, like, spend very little to no money, that would also be great. But, like, that is kind of a tall order, and I get that. That's why I don't have any local ones, but that's okay. I pretty much just hang out with my sister, and that's cool. And if she happens to have friends hanging around, she lets me be included, then maybe I kind of sort of get to meet people through her that way. I've made a few through her friends that way. It always feels weird because I'm like 14 years older than them, at least, if not more. But um, so it's like, I swear I'm not a creep, I'm just a loner and a loser. But anyway. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, my sister checked in on me several times after she found out that I'd been befriended by this person. Are you really, really sure you're okay? You're not gonna go off the deep end? I'm like, Jesus Christ, Kim, give me a little credit here. Oh my god. Like, if this had happened a year or two ago, I could have understood you having some reservations about me being okay, but it's like, I'm actually really fucking stable right now, so yeah, no, I'm totally fine and very numb, actually. Like, I feel nothing. I feel nothing but a sense of relief. And I feel like that's healthy, actually. And honestly, I have no ill will towards Erica or her husband. I hope she's happy, whatever she's doing with her life for, you know. I don't know what all she's up to anymore, but I hope whatever it is makes her happy. Because at the end of the day, that's all anybody really wants, right? So it's like, I don't want any bad on her. Like, why would I do that? This with somebody who was my friend for a lot of years. So, you know, it sucks that it went down the way that it did, but that's life. So it sucks. And I feel like sometimes it's healthy to just talk about it because we all go through shit like this, right? But we don't all talk about it. So we end up feeling like, God, is it me? But I think it's part of the human experience and it's normal. And maybe if we did talk about it more, maybe it would be more normalized to feel more okay with just like, okay, well, that one didn't work out. On to the next one. Whoever and whenever that may be, but like, or if, but anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of babbling, so I'm gonna hit stop on this.